Okay, so it says complete the square on each of the following quadratic expressions, hence find the minimum value of each expression. So the word hence means that we have to do the first part of this question in order to be able to do the second bit, because we're going to use our answer. Complete the square means we want to write this as some sort of square bracket. So we want to write it as x, say, minus some number a, all to be squared, and then maybe plus b. And if we do that, this number here is the minimum value of the graph, or it could be just dependent on the shape of the graph, the maximum value of the graph. So just depending on what shape your graph is. All of our graphs here in this first bit are U-shaped, so they are going to be the minimum value of the graph. So how we complete the square is, and this you mightn't get this first time, you might have to rewatch this a few times. We essentially want to make there be some number here so that I can rewrite this as a square. And how I find out what that number is I half this middle number, so I do minus 8 divided by 2, which gives me minus 4, and then I square it, and I get 16. So I'm going to, and remember anything squared is always positive, so I'm going to add on 16 here. So how I got that was the middle number was 8, I halved it, I got minus 4, and then I squared my answer. But I can't just come along and add on a plus 16 to the sum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it away again. And now I haven't actually altered the sum at all, because I've added 16 but taken it away. So I've not really done anything to it. And I'm going to pair these up. And this will always, if you use this method, give you a perfect square. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 16 is 4. And then the middle sign's a minus. And I can just check that it's squared. So square the first gives you x squared. Twice the product, so x by minus 4 is minus 4x. Twice it is minus 8x, square the last. And then I work out 10 take away 16 is minus 6. So the minimum value of my graph is minus 6. If it was a point, it's this one and this one that gives you the point, but you have to change the sign of the first one. They just asked for the minimum value, but the minimum point there would be, it's a minus 4, so change that to a plus. So 4 minus 6 is your minimum point, but they just asked us for the minimum value. So for part 2, completing the square. Now to use this method, it has to be an x squared. So what I have to do is I'm going to factor out a 4 to make sure that it's x squared. So x squared plus x plus 2 over 4. 2 divided, if I factor out a 4 from 2, I'm left with 2 over 4, which is a half. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I just keep the 4, but inside here, so I can figure out what number I'm adding on and then taking away. The number in front of the x is 1. So if I half 1, I get a half. And if I square a half, I get a quarter, 0.25. So I'm just going to put it in as plus a quarter here. But then I also have to take it away again. So I'm going to pair up the first 3. And that's going to give me, to keep the 4 outside, that's going to give me x. And the square root of a quarter is a half. And the sign in the middle is plus. So that's to be squared, and then a half take away a quarter is just a quarter, and it's positive. So I'm left with positive a quarter. And now I'm going to multiply the 4 back in. So I'm going to multiply the 4, and I'm not actually going to multiply back out the bracket. That defeats the purpose. So I just put the 4 outside, but I can multiply, so the 4 is being multiplied by the bracket and then by the 1/4. So 4 obviously by a quarter is just 1. So the minimum value of this one is 1. And if it was a point, it would be minus a half.